Good evening. Once again, from the Office of the Human Rights Defenders and Access to Justice Advocate Center, live from the Ikeja Allen Avenue branch, representing before you a case of child molestation and domestic violence reported by Mrs. Ifeoma against Mr. INDUBUISI. Please, the complainant is like to give a complaint before invitation is sent to the defendant for proper interview and resolution. So please join us as we interview her. And please stay put. Secondly, uh, because of the nature of the case, her face is not going to show. You are only going to listen to her complaint. Thereafter, the man will be invited and we start it off from there. Thank you very much. Subscribe to our YouTube channel on Access to Justice TV and follow us on our Facebook page of Human Rights Defenders and Access to Justice Advocate Center. For more useful information, you can visit our website on www.hrbac.org. But Angie, thank you once again. Okay, madam, let's hear from you. What is the issue? How did you meet the man? What led to the child molestation and all that?
Thank you very much. I got married to my husband, Jido for INDUBUISI, August, 24th August 2019. So we never dated. We met on Facebook and got married a month after. So when we married, I didn't meet the daughter face to face. I didn't even visit him in Lagos. It was him that came to visit me where I based in Oka. Then, before we married, he knew I was sick because I had an operation. I had a fibroid operation before I met him. And I was in the hospital bed when we started chatting. Then he came down to visit me where I was. Then, along the line, I told him my problem. He knows about my problem. He promised that we will stay tuned together and fight it together. So we got married September, August, that 2019. So after we got married, the marriage, traditional rights and other things was very okay. Though I spent heavily more than him because then it wasn't buoyant enough. So when I went to, there was a time the father invited me and he requested for about 180,000 naira that my husband had not given me the money to buy some yam that they will use and come to our village, that if I didn't bring it, he will cancel it. So I personally gave the man 180,000 naira.
That is the father.
The father of him, yes, his father collected 180,000 naira from me.
By transfer?
Cash. I withdrew it myself, I give him cash. So after the marriage, everything were okay. No, there was no problem. So the father always told me that my husband, where he stays in Lagos, that he stays with all his younger ones. And that is how he want them to stay. Me, I don't have problems. Any problem, I have not visited them before. So after that, I went back to Oka because before I married him, I lost my sister. And I was going taking care of her three children. They were staying in my house. At Oka, I have a studio. My studio is located at Oka. I have a saloon. Inside there, saloon and a very big studio together. I was into magazine production too. So I was doing very well. I was living 3-bedroom flats with the children. So when my husband, after our marriage, he sent the daughter to me to join my late sister's children together in my house. So we all stayed together, about 4 of them, with my cousin sister that is taking care of them when I'm not around. So when they came, we noticed that my stepdaughter, then she was 6 years old. If you are buffing her, you cannot touch her under. Once you go down and she'll start crying. And by then, after my marriage, the younger brother to my husband, who is Choko Mandubisi, started living with me immediately after the traditional marriage. He was also working with my boys in my studio. I gave him one room in my house. The children have their own children's room. Then why I have my own room. So every night, when the other children will be in the parlor watching television, Chuma will come and take my stepdaughter away and bath her, and you sleep with that. They will be sleeping in the same room. Not until one day, my little sister complained to me, that is my cousin, complained to me that this girl, that sometimes she complained of her vaginal pains and other things. So when I now took her to my room, I opened her 2 legs. Her body was messed up. It was just bruises everywhere. So I called my husband and said, look at what I saw in your daughter. What is wrong with your daughter, the girl you gave to me? That there's some bruises under her, and she doesn't know how to sit very well. She can't sit because of the pain she's receiving. Husband did not say anything about the bruises. So I now stopped I now told the younger brother, please, the other one is about 27 years then. Please stop taking this girl to your room and stop beating her. That's the first encounter I had with trauma. So I wanted to know where the thing was coming out from. That's where the thing came out before they gave me the girl to take care of. So from there we stayed. So along the line, I visited. I have to go and come and visit my husband in Lagos because I've not visited him after our traditional marriage. So when I came, it was then that I entered during COVID-19. I came February to Lagos to visit my husband. Then I met COVID-19. So when I called Chuma, because before I left Oka, I have already had problem with him. On no account will he bath my girl. On no account will my girl sleep in his room, if not the children's room. Because I'm becoming very suspicious and I want to find out what happened to the girl. So when I came to Lagos to join my husband, I called him on phone to make sure that the kids don't go out because of the pandemic. But then I was so scared. I was thinking that maybe the thing flies on air, it kill all the children. So every day I called to check on them. So when I called him, and I told him that don't allow the eldest one, that is my late sister's daughter, to go outside because of the epidemic. So he now said, okay, but please, if I want to tell him anything next time, I should talk to the children direct. I shouldn't use his phone. So I got angry. I said, wow, you are angry with me because I asked you to stop betting my stepdaughter, that I have every right. And I told you I have a problem and I want to find out what happened to that girl. Because of that, please leave my house for me until I return. Because then I have already sent somebody that will come and take care of the children before I return. So when I told him that, he became very angry and he called my husband that he's going back to the village with the daughter. My husband started crying, said you should not go with the daughter. They called my husband, their father, Obora, popularly known Obora fighter, and he's a native doctor. So when they now called the father said that they should return the grandchild back to the village. So now in Lagos, I was together with my husband in Lagos. We were crying because we know the reason why we are keeping that child away from being in the village, or because I am the one being being very, very observant to know what actually happened to the girl. So along the line, they took the girl away from me. So after I stayed in Lagos, although that during that pandemic that was in Lagos, another incident happened. My husband second brother, the one called Ezebilo, I noticed that if I'm in the house, that is if when my husband goes out in the morning, after making love to me, he will spare me wrapper or bedsheet sometimes, then you go out, I'll sleep off. Only for me to wake up and meet the younger brother on top of me. I was like, what are you doing on top of me? If I want to struggle to bring him down, he will hold my blanket, he will go hold my wrapper and hold my armpit like this. Because if I move too much, my body will open. So I was struggling to bring him out. I couldn't. I started shouting until the younger brother, Chinwendo, rushed inside the house before he jumped out from my body. That was the first attempt. He tried it once, 2 times, 3 times. I was saying, what kind of this thing is this? Then another thing there is that our bedroom that we use in our old house shared the same door opposite the window of this guy. If I am taking my bath, he will go into his room, off the light, and start looking for something on at the window, so that you can be looking at me where I'm taking my bath. Because our bedroom doesn't have door, and I only use towel to cover it. So when he's looking at that, I was like, what is this guy doing? So I noticed it every day I'm bathing, he's at the window, off the lights, stay at the window till I finish bathing. Immediately I finish bathing, for me to come out, he will rush and move out. So I didn't complain to my husband. One fateful day, a text message came into my husband's phone, a love message, after he took my husband's phone outside to receive call. So the love message, I now call the number back and say, hello, who is this please? The person said, whom? And I told the person, this is me, Mrs. INDUBUISI. He said, are you the person married to that foolish man? Nonsense. She off her phone. So the next day I had this accident. So when I was in the hospital, the girl was calling my husband phone. My husband wasn't picking. The girl man called my phone. I picked. The girl now said, come, are you the person married to that useless man that impregnated me and threw me out of his house? I said, what? I don't know. I never dated him. But I started calming the girl that please just calm down, this, that. So until then, I now confronted my husband. I said, God, did you get a girl pregnant? Then you came down to Anambra State to marry me. Why? My husband said that he is not the one responsible for the girl pregnancy, that after making love to the girl, once he goes out, that the brother always go on top the girl, and at the end of it, he seduce the girl and had sex with the girl. Then now that he's suspecting who is who, the owner of the pregnancy, that's why he threw the girl out. He never married the girl. He told me that one boy that stays upstairs confirmed it, saw them having sex. So I said, ah, and that was when I said, go Obi. Do you mean when you go out in the morning, your brother will come inside the room and start from where you stop? He said, yes. I said, okay. Does that mean he,
Okay, hold on before you continue. You first said your complaint was that your husband is molesting your 8 years
not my
old.
husband, the younger brother?
But I asked you before, you said your husband.
No, I say the younger brother.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes, the younger brother. So now, when I not ask my husband, okay, does that mean that your brother, you understand, sleep with your girlfriend when you are finished, when you are done? That means it's the same thing he's coming to do in my room anytime he goes out in the morning. Like, look at what your brother normally do. My husband got angry and returned home and warned him to stop doing that. This guy called
But
the
why were you not telling your husband when the younger brother was jumping at you and all that? Peeping through the toilet room to see your nakedness? Why did you keep such secret to yourself?
good. Why I didn't tell my husband is that my husband himself that never want to tell me what happened to the daughter, because I've been inquisitive about it. Then I asked somebody in the street. The person told me what is happening to the girl. Then
Is
now
that the reason why you will not tell your husband that the younger brother is peeping to see your nakedness?
I told my husband that at that hospital.
But that was later now.
It was even later. So when I even one again, I don't want to cause problem between them. So when I even told my husband told the brother, you understand, to stop doing that. Do you know that this young man called the brother over a fighter and reports to the father that I said that he wants to rape me? And my father-in-law called me on phone and said I should leave the son's farm house for that statement, that I should not come to the house again. So we pleaded on him since then till today. He has been fighting. He said that the marriage is over the day I open my mouth. That the boy has not penetrated me. Why did I open my mouth to say that? Number one. Then my daughter, that time the brother took the daughter out of the house. The father bundled the girl back to Lagos to stay with my husband. And I returned back to Lagos to take the girl away from them and stay with her. So there was when I came that my husband opened up to me that when the wife was alive and the girl was a year and 7 months, that the younger brother, who was 10 years that time, always fingered that girl, and the mother caught him and throw him out of the house. And the thing destroyed the relationship the woman has with the father and everybody. The father said he has no right to throw the son out of the house. Simply because it's an act, a children's act that means nothing. So the lady, along the process, she died 7 months after the incident.
What is the name of that your husband brother?
Brother Chinwendu Ndubisi, because Chinwendu Ndubisi that is molesting the girl since she was a year and 7 months before they got married to me.
Go ahead.
Now it was Ezebilo Ndubisi, the person that want to sleep with, that always come to bed to molest me and pick me each time I'm taking my bath. Now when my husband opened up to me after I might have told him what happened to between me and the brother in the hospital, the father in my dad told me that since then he doesn't like keeping the girl where the brother is. But the father, Obora fighter, insisted that the whole family will live together. So after the death of his late wife, the father bundled Chinwendu back from where he was staying with the younger brother after the wife threw him away. He returned back to the house and continued the same thing that were bringing problem. That was why when they brought the girl back to Oka to me in 2019, she was having a lot of bruises. And her mother died, leaving her under the custody of my husband at 2016. I married the husband in 2019. I never knew them then. And the boy was molesting the girl from that year after the death of the mother. And my father-in-law cannot stop it with my husband, because my husband, once he say anything, the father will tell you that they can't word, stop talking. And once the father said that he will not stop, he will not talk again. So now the girl now came. When they now brought the girl back to Lagos again,
I didn't stay back. I
Okay.
don't know why you're bending and pushing yourself down.
When the husband now they brought the girl back to Lagos again. So I started calling my husband. After along the line, my husband gave me the girl back. We went home back to Oka. My in-law says I'm pushing them for too much, and now what do I want to know? What that 2 months that is sleeping with the girl, that is just a childish heart and all these things. So on my own, I was doing my business very well. So reaching last year, my husband called me after I had a surgery. I had a surgery August. He now called me that he's no longer comfortable with my business in Anambra State, that I should close the business and return to Lagos. I should dismiss my workers.
What kind of business are you
I
doing?
have a photo studio at Oka, then I have a salon at Oka too, where they do hairdressings. Then I have a makeup studio too. So he asked me to close everything and return to Lagos. That he has rented another apartment where I will stay alone. So we now discuss between us that the ex below, the one that disturbs me each time I'm taking my bath, will not live with us. That you give him money to rent another accommodation. Ex below moved back to the village, reported to the father. They called me that the father said that we all must live together. I now told him, no, I can't live together with you. Stay in a different place and visit us Sundays. He said no. The boy was calling me. He was sending a lot of message that he would die if he didn't live with us. That he's going to stay with us. I said, guy, you are still 27, 26. Why won't you live alone? So along the line, the father now called my husband and said that if Ezebilo did not stay with us, that he will make sure he marry another woman and he should bet him that I'm using juju on him, that he will make sure that he cast out what I'm using to pin him. So I don't know. I was saying that I don't know understand you people what do you mean by juju. So what I now did was he was disturbing me, pressurizing me, close the shop, we can't be staying apart, and we have not had children, and blah 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 blah. At the end of it, he succeeded in making me leave all my studio, gave some things out. I only returned to Lagos with my laptop and my property that I'm using in my house. He made me and the children I was with homeless. So I took two of them to my sister in Port Harcourt. I carried one. My stepdaughter, the father demanded I should return her back to the village. They took my stepdaughter away from me back to the village. So after, they sent her back to Lagos here to come and stay with us, with my husband. So the day she came back, I noticed change in her like before. So I was like, baby, what happened to you? How did you go and other things? So there was some things she told me, but I never knew when the girl returned back to village that they continued from where they stopped. So we stayed there in Lagos, no problem. 3 weeks that I closed everything down and moved to Lagos. My husband packed some things, food items, and I escorted him to the village, to the park. He went to the village. Already then, the daughter is back to Lagos in our house with my nephew. So we all stayed together with the same children in the house. When the girl came, if you talk to her small, she will start feeling, she will be very nervous. Most time tears flows her eyes uncontrolling. And once she sees her father, she cries a lot. And whenever she's with Chinwendu, she cries, she makes some kind of noises I don't like, and makes some kind of utterances that I don't like. I started telling questioning my husband that this is not the girl I sent to village for you people. That this girl is a religion. My husband said, I'm the cause. That they already told her in the village that I'm not a good mother to the girl. That I carry other orphans and surrender myself. That I don't have time for our own child. I said, no, the children under me that are all orphans. 3 of them plus your daughter. Although you are alive, making it 4 of them, and they have somebody that is helping me to take care of them, so they are all equal before me. I promise myself I'm taking care of the child. We don't share anything differently. Every child eats together with the rest. So you know say I'm supposed to be giving our own daughter special attention, say all of them have equal attention because they are humans. So when I gave my sister 2, I returned with 1, join with my daughter, that is that my stepdaughter, making it 2. So we wanted to know what was wrong with the girl, why she cries a lot. What happened the next day that my husband traveled to the village. Though when my husband rented that house, the first time I came to know the house, that ending of last year, there was a number my husband normally calls, and I called all the time to disturb me. So I called that girl one day that caused my husband a lot. I called that girl and said, hello, I thought you know, I hope you know that INDUBUISI is married. The girl started insulting me. She told me the story of my life. She told me how I've been abandoned in the village. Told me I'm busy having one operation or the other, that I don't have womb again. What am I doing in her marriage? I said, oh, well, which marriage again? The girl said that her wedding is coming up very soon. That she hope I did not go and disturb that young man in Lagos. Before you know it, she gave me the address of my husband's house that I was staying. She said, told me that it think it's that old house. We left your belongings in that old house the day we move out. I was like surprised. What do you mean? You left my belongings? And my belongings are here. She said it's a lie. I should call her video call to make sure that I know where NDUBISI is living, that I don't know where NDUBISI is living. I said, my own husband. She said, it's not my husband. It was my old husband. As we are talking, the girl cut the call and called my father-in-law. My father called me and said, she should not disturb that girl again. No. I said, oh, what is wrong? I called my husband. I said, baby, look at what is happening. My husband said, and then who asked me to call the number before? I was so terrified. I was so heartbroken. Then I've sold my things in my studio. I've given out. I've dismissed everybody, dismissed my workers. I was like, how can a girl give me the address of my house that I am? Before you know, she called me. She said, she called me video call and said, so you went to that house, went to that guy, you see something. She was like, oh, what? I started crying. I called the uncle. Because the uncles is the one that my husband will come back and tell me that the uncles brought a girl for him to marry, but he rejected the girl. The father brought a wife for him to marry. He keep telling when I was angry, he keep telling me, you will see it now. They are giving me a wife to marry and you are busy pursuing your career. Leave that career and come to Lagos so that when they bring wife for me, they will know that you are here with me. That was the scenario that he used that made me to shut down the place so that they will stop giving him wife. Not knowing that it was my husband and the girl that were planning their own marriage without my consent. So even the girl told me about the history of my operations and everything. That what can I give the guy that I'm disturbing the guy? I have to contact my girlfriend in Anambra State to tell the girl that we are legally married, that we are still married though. Don't mind anything. The girl called, he showed my girl. At a time, he now said, okay, we should be videoing my husband with me and send for her to confirm that it's the same husband who I'm talking that she's getting married to. I have to do it and send for her. So the next morning, she now called me, okay, no problem. That when I'm talking with my husband, I should call her on phone to confirm if the same person. I did the same thing. When my husband found out, my husband pushed me out of the way. He now said, so this is what I want to do. So when he wants to go out, I want him to keep talking so that the girl will keep hearing the voice. I now block the door small. My husband will keep talking. Say, hey, come out, I will kill you. Then before my husband started beating me. So the guy now heard me say, okay, he's the guy. Yes, he's the guy. You are saying the truth. Okay, now let me think about myself. The girl, my husband left for work that day. So when he left, I wasn't comfortable with what happened. I started calling him, begging him to return home. So I went to his office. His friend, and when I came, I made them outside gisting. His friend now said, before I said it, I should kneel down and apologize for everybody there. I knelt down, I apologized to all of them and
The
asked,
office there.
yes, in the market, because in the market, he work with security in trade fair. So that Sunday, they normally go for people that normally do offload. So when I went there, his friend said for me to talk in their presence, I will kneel down and beg everybody there to permit me to talk. So I now said, okay. I now knelt down and beg all of them, please, you should permit me to come and beg my husband. They said, okay, I'm permitted, I'm allowed. So I now stood up. When I started to talk, the guy said, in fact, I should not stand up to talk, I should kneel down and start talking. I knelt down.
Which is that?
His friend that want to help us to reconcile because I felt I made him upset. So I knelt down. When I was talking with him, my husband stood up. My husband stood up from that place and went somewhere and started making video call with the same girl, apologizing on what happened. So he now do video call and send the girl, keep calling me names, say a lot of bad things about me. So after they made peace there. I never knew the call that happened and the call videos he sent to the girl.
Somebody.
So his friend,
Who is that?
so now his friend.
This Danny from this supermarket.
So then his friend now asked me to go and buy yam and fowl to use and apologize to him on next Sunday that they will come and eat it. I said no problem. So when I now returned home, the next Monday, I called the girl and said, babe, please, I have reconciled with my husband, understand. Move on, you're a young girl. You are too big to marry second wife or take somebody's wife. So I added her in a group chat with my husband. I started telling them. So the girl now asked me, what is my problem? Why didn't I stay together with my husband after we got married? I told her that it's a long story, that I lost a sister and I'm still nurturing the children. The last one was 2
Who
years
is
old.
asking you about that?
The girl that was asking me the question,
Which girl?
my husband concubine. You understand? So she was asking me the question. The same, her name is Nek Anwanko. Her Facebook name is Nek Anwanko. So she's a student of Mbaku Polytechnic, Anambra State. So she was the one that asked me the question and said, why didn't I live together with my husband when I got married to my husband? So I have to explain to her that I lost my elder sister.
You are explaining to
I'm explaining to
to
her.
your husband girlfriend.
Yes. So what happened? Why we are not together? So after that, she now said, okay, that she will do face that she will think of what to do. But why would I want to stay in the house of a man that doesn't love me? I said, what do you mean? She started sending the video. That time I was kneeling down in the market begging my husband. My husband was doing video, calling me names, sending to her, telling her that I want to date her, that I'm a troublesome, that I'm old taboo, that he just want to confess that his love was prophesying his love to the girl. So the girl was sending me the video, sending me the voice chat of my husband crying that day. I was begging. So at the end of it, I now asked her, what do you want me to do? She said the only thing she advised that I should pack my things and go back and take care of my late sister's children and leave that house for her. Or I will run mad. So we started, I say me around and we started by finding ourselves, Holy Ghost fire everywhere, everywhere. So the next thing, my in-laws them, everybody started throwing call on me. I should stay away from that girl. I should stay away from that girl. So this after this thing incident happened last year September. So this January, the same my husband sent me transport to return to Lagos finally. I now moved my bag and I said, okay, I've forgotten what happened before. We stayed though. When I came back, the day I came back, he received me very well. We are happy. So when my stepdaughter returned was when we now noticed that she cries and shocked. She feels shocked sometimes. So my husband, I returned 2 weeks and that I returned to Lagos. My husband went for the girl introduction. With the foodstuffs I helped him to buy. I helped him to carry most of them to the park. The drink, I loaded the drink for him. I kept it in the park, wait for him in the park. When he now come, he returned, he went to the village. He lied and told me that the father is killing cow for his goddess, killing 3 cows. So that he's going for the celebration. Only for my husband to go back to the village and arrange with his father and everybody and go to the girl house and tell their intention and bring the girl back to my husband house in the village. So in Lagos, anytime I sleep, somebody will beat me in the night. I used to see it. I still something. I'll call my husband, do video call him. Baby, is there anything going on in the village that I don't sleep? And my daughter, my stepdaughter, every time I feel, sometimes I'll go and touch the girl in my dream. She will turn to CD plate. I'll carry her, say, baby, why? I'll be praying. I'm not.
Which girl will come to see
CD plate. That is my dream. When I will stay with her, I say, baby, have fun. And if I want to touch her, sometimes she'll come to CD plate and mix with other CD plates. I said, what kind of regulation is this?
your husband?
No, the daughter. So I now called the mother, my husband, say, is anything going on in the village? He said nothing. He video call me, say everything is fine. Not knowing that this Neka is in my village. Neka one boy is in our village. So by the time he returned to the Lagos, the very night he came, I wasn't sleeping. I felt so restless. He came to my bed. We made love. Then we stayed. When we stayed, I was feeling as if he's a stranger. Sometimes I feel as if masquerade was covering his face. I have to wake him very. I say, baby, I'm not sleeping. Look at your face. This time I tried looking at you, I will see only masquerade. Look at what is happening. Did anything happen in the village? He said nothing. I told him, are you tired of this marriage? Let me go. He said nothing. I said, no, please, if you are tired of this marriage, go and fix my studio back. Let me return back. Or probably give me money to go and start my life again. It's as if your people are only on your neck. You now open up and say, yes, that his people is your neck, that he wants to marry another girl. And I say, you want to marry another girl, is that how you're going to tell me? What happened to my career? That's the end. He left for business and posted the girl picture that day on his WhatsApp, the best, and used the girl as his profile. The girl posted my husband soon because I have a number in my phone. I started calling and calling. I was calling a lot of people and I will kill myself. Oh, if you marry that girl, I will die. I will kill the girl, I will kill myself. Everybody will die. My husband will die. I was so frustrated, but it was out of frustration. I was crying. Lost my job. I lost my studio. I lost everything I have to be in this marriage. Why now? Why do you people allow me to do it this way? So along the line, that's how the issue will be treating all this while. Reaching Saturday, last Saturday, my nephew was so okay. Since January that they returned, my nephew, well, if some days he wake up early morning, he'll be crying. that his labs are paining him. I will give him
Yes,
painkiller
yes,
to
yes.
drink. So at the time we want to know why he
Tomorrow.
always the labs always pain him. I mean I cannot find the reason. He
Yes.
won't tell me why his labs. So one morning he comes and say that his bum bum everywhere is paining him. I still gave him another painkiller to take. And in the night the boy will be sleeping. The next thing he will shout. When I wake up to know I say what's happening, everybody will be pre ten ding as if they were sleeping.
Who
So
are who?
my nephew and the brother Chinwendu sleep the same place while my stepdaughter sleep differently. So each time my nephew will shout at midnight. So that morning my nephew was looking at me. He was in my friend house, that is our neighbor downstairs. He came and say mommy I don't want to stay in this house again, I want to go. I ask him why. He say Chinwendu cannot allow him go sleep, that every night that Chinwendu carry his brick and rubber at his laps, play with his brick till the next day, and that's why he's having pains and his breast.
Where is the children?
The Chinwendu is my husband.
Where is he?
He's in Lagos here. We live together. All of us are living together.
Okay.
So
How old is he?
Chinwendu is 19 years. So
How old is this? Is their nephew?
10 years.
Okay.
So that Chinwendu will not allow him to sleep every night. That is his problem. And he wants to leave the house. So when I now called him and say, is that why I'm giving you pain relief every day? And he didn't tell me. Say, yes, you don't know how to tell me. And again, that Chinwendu sleep with my daughter every Saturday. And he caught them several times. That he tired of seeing them. So that was when I now called my stepdaughter and we interrogated her together with my friend. We'll have her video here.
Where is your husband?
My husband is in the same house with us. So that was when we now interrogated. Now, the boy said it's only on Saturday, every Saturday that he sleep with the girl. So when my husband came back, we told my husband. My husband only shout, cry. Until today, nothing has been done about it. There was no treatment given to my stepdaughter. There was no justice given to her. The father, they called the father in the village. The father said they should kill the issue. That children should come back to the village to perform rituals. So he will not die because he slept with the sister. That thing will kill Chinwendu if they do not perform the ritual. So they are preparing Chinwendu back. Chinwendu will be leaving tomorrow next for the ritual in the village.
And you are coming in here today.
Eh, no, I don't have contact. It's through search. It was somebody that been following you through life on in India that I complained to. The person now told him because my husband works with security in the market. He said I have even gone to the security office and complained to this today that my husband have not done anything on my sister's son and the daughter that have been molested. They have not done anything. They now said okay, they will talk to him. After they talk to me, he now told me that if I call police, that he has money to bail himself. And in Nigeria there is no justice. I should go and call whatever I want from him. And now said okay, since then I've been following him. So he now till yesterday, he now called me because all this while I was very sick, I was making some service in his hand that I will use and go and do IVF this February, April. So he called me and said that my IVF money, he wants to return it back to me. I should take my IVF money. That is not interested in having issues with me again. That is getting married Easter Tuesday or anytime. I should just take it anytime. That already paid the bride price. That at that time he traveled, he sent his father. He's not even stressed. That he gave me and my nephew that was molested from now to Saturday to move out of the house. That the wife is coming back after the marriage. I still called the girl, sent her a lot of video begging her. She said, "Lie, if I didn't leave the house, I'll run mad before that time." I called the father to apologize for them to forgive me if I have offended the family by being too inquisitive on what happened to my stepdaughter or by chasing the brother out of the house, the one that want to sleep with me out of the house, asking that one to leave or I leave, that they should forgive me. I've called my mother-in-law. I've even gone there on my knees to beg them to forgive me. Them should stay at peace. They said no. So what I'm demanding, I want justice for Munachi. I want justice for my stepdaughter because my at the end of it, even if I leave the house, they will still keep the girl around and they will still be bringing the girl back to village and Chinwendu will keep molesting Chinwendu and Munachi because this was an incident that happened 2016 when 2015 when the mommy was alive and today the girl is 8 years. The same thing is still happening and my father-in-law is not doing anything about it. So if I eventually leave that house, who will speak for Munachi? If I leave that house, that my sister's son, my father-in-law have not come to say sorry. They have not given me 1,000 naira to go and treat that boy. They have not called me since that thing happened, and I begged my husband for money to treat Munachi. The only thing he could have afford is 2,000 and asked me to use and go and buy Jito and press her hot water. I'm tired of pressing her hot water and Jito. At the end of it, I will take her to my friend's house to stay if I'm coming out. Once I keep her with my friend, she will still come and bring her up and be doing the same thing again. Even when I ask her what to do, she doesn't have control over her body again. Even her play group, if she plays with other children, they'll come and report to me. The way she plays, not how she's supposed to be playing. But I just don't know. But I just need more justice for myself, my nephew, and my business that they shut down and they're asking me to leave on Saturday.
So, well, I will not judge. I will not conclude now yet until.
I have Monachi videos.
No, I don't know what's going to happen. You bring those children. Okay. Bring those children tomorrow.
Okay.
It's not easy to leave marriage though. But there are situations you find in marriage you don't have the choice than to leave. Hmm? You went to the market to kneel down for a man and you call a husband, right? Well, I don't want to. There is nothing, I can't say anything now until I see the man that is involved, the children that are directly involved. The issue of your marriage will be addressed separately, then the issue of the kids will be addressed separately. Because according to you, the kids, they are motherless. Your sister's children,
The father will not like it.
okay, your nephew is an orphan.
Yes.
Okay, then you have a niece there.
No, I don't have just my nephew.
Okay,
Just
just
I have
your
still the
nephew.
one out.
Then what of his late wife's daughter?
My stepdaughter.
Is she still there?
She's still there. We are all still together. My husband said everybody's going out by Friday.
You bring the kids tomorrow. First thing tomorrow, you bring the kids. Right? Let me call the man first before they send him an invite.
The younger
No,
one,
what you do, bring the kids first tomorrow.
if you ask my husband to bring the kids with him, that all of us should come, it's better because the father has already started coming that they should return the brother for ritualists to perform some rituals. That if he didn't do it, then he may die. So that one has already packed his plate. I don't know if he's going. So if you call my husband, he'll probably cancel the travel and come again.
The name of the boy is what? Chinwedu.
Chinwembe, yes.
And the husband is Ually.
Yes.
Dear customer, the MTN number you have dialed is currently switched off.
And the girl, what's the small girl name?
Monachi.
Your nephew name is what?
Kenenna Nyako.
Hmm?
Kenenna. Yes, Kenichukwu Nyako or Kinsley Nyako.
At the moment. Please try again.
When is it 5 o'clock? What is time? I'll tell you what to do.
Right?
If it's to 5 or 5 o'clock, what is time?
It's to 6.
To 6. Okay, it may probably be where there is no network because he works as a task force inside the market. They help people, they pack people's goods where those who that didn't close on time. He will be the one to chase them out of the market. So it's 6 o'clock that he
The
wants
number you
that.
are phone is not available.
The husband is a town crier in the market.
Is a task force, yes.
How na task force and then na town crier. No be town crier dey fit bell. Oh yeah, time don dey o. Una go out of the market o. Otherwise I lock the
The
gate
number
o.
you're trying to call is not available at the moment.
This life no
Please try.
balance. This life no balance at all.
Yeah, even if you see my studio, that one sef, they know the instrument come to my studio. Please, I have like 3 photographers working for me.
Please
Okay, what you do, you can see that the number is not going.
Yes.
Provide the keys for us to know. And we're going to call, send them. Then if you get home, his number go, right?
Yeah, his number will go once it's 7 o'clock, right?
Okay. They will send him and say they will call him for 7 o'clock.
Mm. I don't know how I'm going to come go back to Oka with much money to start over my life again. Where will I rent again?
The question I want to ask,
Yes.
I believe, I hope you know that it's also an offense if you give any information that is false and any false information here.
Yes, ma'am. And
Because,
any
hold on,
information I give you,
hold
I'm
on.
not feeling.
First of all, I told you these are two cases. Your marital case is different. You are bringing your face to the camera,
Okay.
and if you bring it out, I'm not going to, there's nothing we can do. Your face is not showing, and you can hear me clearly. The place is not wide enough that you can't hear what I'm saying. So if you pull down, your face is showing. I'm not going to drop the video, and I don't owe you any apology. This which area is this place?
Such like Brochu. No, I just moved into Lagos. I don't know Lagos very well.
You have a police station around the place.
I will ask.
Okay. First of all, you go straight now to that police station. You have to talk to the DPO of that place. You go and arrest that 19 years boy this night. Tomorrow you provide that those children to us, and we will ensure we communicate with your husband this night as well to be in this meeting. I am not going to conclude yet. I'm not going to believe you yet. I want to assume you are lying, and I want to assume you are saying the truth. We must hear from the other side to know the true stand of the whole story. You are all alone here. I've not seen the Chinwendu, neither have I seen the Kelechukwu or Munachi. Those kids need to be interviewed professionally, and the 19 years boy need to be interviewed as well. You know, people can do things to victimize person. Yes, we know we have issues in marriage. There are stages in life that you know you can bear. When it goes beyond level, you know the love has been sold out. You can't win the love of a man or woman again. You tried all your best. If you live with an enemy, you will definitely die. But if you live and stay on your own, even find somebody that like you, even if there is no love, you will stay longer. If a situation where a man will do something to you to the extent that there's no single value in you before that person again, think twice. It's not every domestic violence that resulted to beating. There are some that are not beating, but you are being beaten emotionally. There are some that are physical beating that may result to even death. Even the emotion, and some people have taken uh, poison and died. But you went too far, but I don't want to conclude. The reason why I will not conclude, we need to hear from the man, because you are both adults and you are matured. And there is no way anybody will wake up overnight and started misbehaving as if the person is running mad. Whoever that is there should control his. I'm going to ask you guys out of my office. You are making hell of noise there, and you are disturbing us here.
I went out. He's answering.
If it's answering call, that is not how to answer call. Other people are there.
Yeah,
It's unfair.
I've already stepped out.
Do you understand me? So let's not run it to conclude yet. Probably you might be saying something, you might be alleging the man and the nephew because you don't want the marriage again. Probably you might be saying the truth, but come what may, bring the child for us because we are going to run tests on the child to know if the child has been abused sexually or not. That is very, very, very important. Even if they take the monarchy to the village and they still confirm that monarchy is one of the people that have molested you, wherever they take him to, your husband will provide him. I am not talking about your marriage yet. I'm talking about the innocent children that can't protect or defend themselves. So make these children available for me tomorrow. So if you are stressed not to go to police station, provide me the girls first. I need to run, they need to be tested first. Okay?
Thank you. So like the children own, the police aspect of it, before I get to it will be very late.
Just bring the kids to us.
Yes,
We will call your husband to provide children.
children, if it's coming to
Yes. We'll call your husband to provide children. Yeah. But first of all, bring the kids, your nephew and your stepdaughter. Let's have the first thing tomorrow morning. You have to be here on time because of where they will take them for the test. Yeah.
thank you. Can I go?
Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Come here. Like the issue of the marriage aspect, because that his marriage has refused, I don't have any problem with them again.
We'll go into that one after the other. And let the kids come. Let them be here first. We'll address all of them one after the other. But the kids are the ones we need to rescue first.
The only problem I have with you to fix my studio, let me get my way. Thank you, my friend.
All right, thank you. I'll be back in a moment. It's getting late. Uh, Till tomorrow, the man will be invited. We'll have the kids in the house. Just like I earlier advised, we need to do medical tests on the kids to know, to ascertain the true facts of this whole story before we start the talk. I did not call you, sir. What is the problem for car outside? Why are you bugging into my office? What is the problem?
So the
You are another. Did I call you? Did you see me there? Shut the door, sir.
sorry.
So the issue is that let's see these children first. Let's not conclude yet. She might be saying the truth. She might not be saying the truth. But let's see the case from. Then outside that, the man we invited and he will also be questioned on what exactly happened between two of them that resulted to all that. Thank you very much. God bless you.